out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
95.7 The Game is an equal opportunity employer, and we encourage local community organizations to refer qualified applicants to us. You can receive The Game and Odyssey job vacancy information by contacting Human Resources at 415-765-4011 or by emailing sfhr@odyssey.com.
Countdown to Earth Day. Just 15 days to go. To increase gas mileage, keep tires inflated to the correct pressure and remove heavy items like golf clubs from your trunk. When we each share one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning!
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
Let's go. It's a Friday. It's a good Friday. It's a Phil Collins Friday. It's opening day Friday for the San Francisco Giants. And it's Kings Warriors Friday up in Sacktown. This is going to be an epic weekend in sports, folks. We're going to find out this time Monday morning who the Golden State Warriors will be playing in a play-in game, in round one of the NBA playoffs. There are so many different variables to happen still. So let's jump right into it. 888-957-9570. It all starts tonight at Golden One Arena in Sacramento. Warriors Live, 6 o'clock. Coverage of Warriors Kings starts there with John Dickinson. 6:30, the great Tim Roy. You'll hear his voice before tip-off at 7 o'clock. And him and Jim Barnett will be on the call right here on 95.7 The Game. Your home for Golden State Warriors coverage through the play-in, through the playoffs. So much still to happen. Last night, we had some action around the association. We had the Thunder taking out the Jazz. They now control their fate if they want to get into the play-in. We had the Suns taking out the Nuggets. Do the Suns rest players? They take on the Lakers tonight, and then Sunday they take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Well, the Clippers lay down. There's so many intricate and fascinating vignettes in these last remaining games in the NBA season. And I can't wait for the game tonight. And I'm really hoping that the Kings play their starters. I want to see a fun game. No one wants to see them roll over. And to be quite honest, do the Kings want to do that? Because what that signals to me, and let me know what you feel. YouTube, Twitch, how you doing? We're up and running. Appreciate all you chiming in there. Again, the number, if you would like to call or text the Comcast Business text line, it is the same number at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. You're kind of playing with fire for the Sacramento Kings, and you're choosing to not play or put a minutes restriction on some of these guys. You're basically signaling to the Golden State Warriors, yeah, we're fine with you guys in round one. Yeah, we're good. And it's not like the Warriors need extra motivation. I mean, they're freaking champs. If you need extra motivation at this point, I don't know what to tell you. Everyone's been kind of doubting you all year because, well, let's face it, it's been a tumultuous season. Now, if you look at Vegas, they still have them, top 5, 6, 7 odds. So we're not totally counting out the Golden State Warriors, but it's just been a grind of a season. I don't know what to expect. Would any of us be shocked if Andrew Wiggins, he's ramping up, they say he's not playing in the last 2 games of the regular season, but let's say they do play the Kings in round one, and he comes off the bench and they slowly get him integrated, and by game 3 he's starting, and then you know what? They're firing all cylinders. They win in 6. Here comes the Warriors. They're the favorites now. Would anyone be shocked if that happens? No. Because you got Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. And anything's possible with those 3 guys. For most of the season, though, you haven't had one of those stars. And one of those guys wasn't playing well for a good part of this portion, Klay Thompson. Draymond Green, he had to earn his trust back from the team. So this has been just a roller coaster ride of a season, and it's finally going to culminate this regular season, that is, after Sunday, Easter Sunday. What are you doing this weekend? That's a question for all of you at 888-957-9570. What are you doing? What are you watching? You traveling? Oh, and by the way, if you are traveling, please be safe on the roads. If you're just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for the weekend, going down somewhere, traveling for Easter weekend, please be safe. It's wet out there. Can we not have a week without rain? And I love the rain. I love the rain. Honestly, if it was like Seattle, Washington type weather year-round here, I wouldn't be mad. It's getting a little ridiculous. So actually, check that. Maybe I should be mad. Even the guy that loves rain is getting tired of it. Come on. Just 1 week. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. As we look around the league in the current standings, obviously you got the Nuggets, Grizz, Kings, Suns rounding out the top four. Clippers, Warriors still tied at 42 and 38. Obviously, the Clippers have the upper hand there via tiebreaker. Los Angeles Lakers, they're on the outside looking in 41 and 39, as well as the New Orleans Pelicans. And obviously, Lakers have the tiebreaker there. So 7-8, and then the T-Wolves and Oklahoma City Thunder at 9 and 10, respectively. Again, Thunder, they went out. They take care of their business. They are in the play-in game. Hell of a season for them. That's been a hell of a season. You know, Oklahoma City Thunder, ever since the Durant departure and that Russell Westbrook kind of year and that weird Paul George, like Chris, all the kind of weird like stopgap period. Then they went full tank mode. And you know what? It's good to see them back and playing well. I'm not so sure about that market. I mean, Oklahoma, I'm more of like, can we just move that team back to Seattle? Speaking of Seattle and the rain again, like Oklahoma City, is that doing it for anyone? I know like they have like a great fan base there, but God, Oklahoma City as a market, it's all about market share and market revenue. How much are they generating? Sorry at the good people of the Oklahoma City Thunder that are listening on the Odyssey app. Be sure to download that bad boy and favorite 95.7 The Game. If you are a Thunder fan, I apologize. Or if you were a previous Seattle Supersonics fan, I don't know if you still root for that team. I don't know how that happens, how that goes. It's like going from St. Louis Rams, but that was a whole different brand name. Like going from the Sonics to the Thunder, they changed that whole thing up. So, I don't know. As I digress here on a Friday, on a Phil Collins Friday, on a Good Friday, on a NBA regular season Friday that could culminate in a play-in, could culminate in a playoff. A lot of stuff riding on this game tonight in Sacramento. Let me know your thoughts at 888-957-9570. Do you want the path of least resistance tonight? Do you want the Kings to rest the players, Dub Nation, Golden State Warriors fans, or do you want to test yourself? Like, it's a Friday night. It's Sacramento. It's Golden State. There haven't been this many type of seasons, if at all, that these two franchises are where they are at. 48 and 32, the Sacramento Kings. Yes, those Sacramento Kings are 48 and 32. Like, that's wild. Just think about that. They were the doormat for the better part of my existence, other than the Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, Peja Stojakovic era, couple years there. They've been dog bleep. Been awful. Been one of the worst franchises in sports, and I should know, because I'm an A's fan. The A's are making the playoffs. Kings weren't. They were up there with the Seattle Mariners. And even the Mariners tried to spend. They get Robinson Cano or whatever. It's pop for steroids, but at least they tried to spend. And they had that 20-year, playoff drought. They finally snapped that. Julio Rodriguez, Mitch Haniger. Is he coming back anytime soon, by the way? Big win for the Giants, by the way, over the White Sox. White Sox, yikes. Giants, they got pop. They got pop. Check out that latest episode of Garlic Fries and Baseball, guys, from Joe Shasky and Sam Lubman via the Odyssey app, odyssey.com. Download that bad boy. Go ahead and give Sam Lubman and Joe Shasky doesn't need to follow, but give my boy Sam Lubman a follow on Twitter. I don't think he's in the studio right now, or I'd plug his handle, but just search Sam Lubman. Chances are you'll find him in those beautiful, beautiful red locks of his. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Warriors fans, everyone listening, what are you doing this weekend? It's a two-parter. What are you doing? And come Monday, who will the Golden State Warriors be playing either in the play-in or in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. Let me know. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Good morning, Morali, Ernie, James, EJ. I just washed my car. Yeah, look at that forecast. That's a pro tip. Always look at that forecast before you're going to wash that car. Always look at the forecast. Because chances are it's going to be raining sometime, somewhere this week. And if it is, if you have a garage, put it in there. If you don't, well, if you don't have a car cover, you're just kind of whack, like, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. EJ, you got your phone now, man. There's no excuses not to know the weather. Used to be you had to read the newspaper if you weren't going to watch the news, and they had that 10-day forecast in the paper. It's like, oh, looks like it might rain this week. Now, come on. Get notifications on your phone for everything. Get notification on my phone if my baby burps at night. Come on. EJ, what are we doing? What are we doing? Morali, thank you. I did get a haircut. Those of you on Twitch and YouTube, appreciate all y'all. It's Easter weekend. Taking nice pics. Going to church with the fam, all that sort of stuff. Young Benjamin didn't want to get his haircut, so he didn't force it yesterday. He's got the curls, so he can get away with it. He's got the beautiful curly hair, so it can get longer and longer, but the guy just sweats a little bit. It poofs up like a little afro, so... Yep, got that haircut. Ernie Chavez, happy Phil Collins Friday for those that observe, absolutely. Morali's prediction is Warriors Suns first round? What? Oh, God, that's just too juicy. That is too juicy. So what Morali is basically insinuating, he thinks the Warriors win out, and he thinks the Clippers drop one of these next two. They play, the Los Angeles Clippers, that is, play the Portland Trail Blazers tomorrow, and then on the back end of a back-to-back, they play the Phoenix Suns at home at Crypto.com Arena. And I believe the Suns, these next two games, I believe they're staying in Los Angeles, and I believe they're just going to rest these guys. That win against the Nuggets, big win for them, even though the Nuggets didn't really play anyone. But big win for the Suns in regards to what happens in these next two games against Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers, because they can just rest these guys now. Kevin Durant, they're undefeated still with him in that lineup. Chris Paul hitting a massive three. They're gelling at the right time, kind of like the Warriors may be gelling at the right time. So I am all in on that matchup. Again, we're talking first round matchups, play-in matchups. Who do you have the Warriors playing this time Monday morning? And also, what are you doing? I'm not going to steal from Willard and this. What are you doing this weekend? That's what I want to know. 888-957-9570. I'll be driving down to the Shire, as it's been dubbed by the great James Kincaid, which is the Monterey Bay Peninsula. Shout out Pacific Grove. Shout out Monterey Seaside. All y'all. Marina. Salinas. Yeah, we claim you. Went to high school in Salinas. Carmel. Love all y'all. 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. Hell yeah, El Guero. He's going to be smoking some brisket. Let's go. Big brisket fan. Don't have the patience to cook it. I also don't have a smoker to do it. I don't think you can really bake brisket. That sounds kind of gross. Maybe you can. Got to find recipes. Well, you can, I guess, slow cook it, right? Slow cooked brisket. You can do that. If you don't, I got that crock pot action. I'm big into the crock pot meals now because they're just easy. Got 2 kids. Got the missus. Put that sucker on for a few hours when I get home around 1 o'clock. Then by the time dinner is ready at 5:36, we're ready to go. Big into the slow cooker. Any recipes for those, let me know at 888-957-9570. Jake Matthews, check that. Jack Matthews, Mr. Matthews. That was my Mr. Feeney for those in the know. Shout out Boy Meets World. Jack says, I'm going to have to say we end up number 6. I say we go 1-1, in which that you would play the Sacramento Kings. And the team you're playing tonight, again, Warriors Live coverage of that game, right here, 95.7 The Game, starts at 6 o'clock. You're playing the Kings. And that's why, God, come on, Kings. Get up for this game. I want to see a fun matchup. I want to see a fun game. And I think the great John Dickinson, who I just mentioned, who will be on Warriors Live, tweeted this out as I'm vamping, and searching my phone on Twitter. By the way, you can follow me at Spadoni_Joe on there. But here we go. Kings are listing 7 of their top 8 of the rotation as questionable for today against the Warriors. Harrison Barnes, the only one not listed. So you go through that. You got De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, Davion Mitchell, Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis as questionable. And they list that injury/illness. and go ankle, finger. Like everyone's injured at this point in the season, so you can list pretty much anything and you'd believe them. But that would just that put a damper on tonight. And I know Warriors fans be like, no, path of least resistance. But don't you want to kind of stack up yourself against this team if that's what you're going to play? You don't want them lying down. You don't want that. And I don't think the Warriors are going to take it as a slight because they can realize, like, hey, listen, they're resting their guys, whatever. They feel comfortable playing us in round one. Well, we're going to show you why you shouldn't feel comfortable. And Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Gary Payton II, Dante DiVincenzo are going to show out tonight. That would be great, I guess, but if you're just the average fan or you're just a consumer or you don't have a dog in the fight like your boy here, come on, give me some action. Don't roll over sack. We don't want that. 888-957-9570. KM Johnson on the YouTube chat asked what he is doing this week, and he'll be making that holiday overtime money. Let's go. Hell yeah. Make that money, KM Johnson. Appreciate you chiming in on the YouTube chat. 888-957-9570. I stumbled upon this, and we'll continue to take your calls and texts as it pertains to the Golden State Warriors taking on Sacramento tonight. Again, what are you doing this weekend on a Phil Collins Friday, on a Good Friday, on a Sac v. Golden State Warriors Friday? But this, I stumbled upon this the other day, and we didn't get into it, and it's been in the chat. It's been in a couple chats, actually. But I wanted to get to it because it kind of was just like weak sauce. And it's a Friday. I don't have anything. It's Giants related. Giants, obviously, they beat the White Sox. It's their opening day. So if you're going to that against the Kansas City Royals today, I hope it's not super wet. I think the clouds and stuff should be clear by then, but hopefully they put that tarp out. Shout out meteorology and shout out EJ Gomez. I'm pretty sure they looked at the weather report. Sam, you can hear me, right? You going to the game tonight? Opening day? Oh, he can't hear me. He's locked in. He's wearing his orange University of Miami his 95.7 game credential. God, I wish he was on YouTube right now. We thought about having a YouTube back in that studio, but you didn't. Far too often are we making adjustments and doing stuff we're not supposed to be doing back there when it comes to pulling up, doing our stretches, bending over. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see that studio. So I think it's best. I'm maybe in the new studio. We're moving to a new building in a couple months, folks. So maybe by then we'll have a production thing in the back there. But for the most part, I don't think it's necessary. But opening day for the Giants against the Kansas City Royals. Haven't played an NL team. Kind of weird, but also interleague is just regular league now. It's just, it'll take a few years, but sooner or later, it's going to feel like the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference, the NBA. It's going to be like you play these teams every year. See where you stack up against the Yankees and the Bostons. It's teams like that. So it is what it is. I don't mind the interleague play at all anymore, but I understand the Kansas City Royals aren't the sexiest of teams. All right. I say all that to say this. Cade McClure. You ever heard that name? Probably not, unless you're really tapped in like a Mark Willard or Joe Shasky or Sam Lubman here at 95.7 The Game, and you're a huge Giants fan. But Cade McClure, he's a pitcher for the Giants based in Sacramento for the River Cats, and he gave up a bomb to Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis, obviously making his way back, still serving that suspension in the big leagues for steroids, for performance-enhancing drugs. So, okay. He gives up a bomb to Fernando Tatis Jr., who's, by the way, box office. I heard Steiny and Guru talking about that yesterday in NBA. If we want to go MLB box office, Fernando Tatis Jr., he's top 5, top 10, easily for me. Guy's got so much swag. You don't know what he's going to do in the outfield. He's almost like a Manny Ramirez type, or it's just like, oh God, what are you doing, Fernando? They moved him to the outfield, by the way, during spring training. He was playing a lot of right field, which I think they're going to do. Now they got, who was it? Devers they got. And by the way, they lost. No, not Rafael Devers. Who am I thinking of? The guy that they got from the Red Sox. It'll come to me. Help me out, YouTube chat and Xfinity mobile text line. Check that, the Comcast business text line. Wasn't Devers, it was Bogarts. Thank you. 888-957-9570 if you would like to chime in. But yeah, they got Bogarts there, so they got Tatis playing right. So Tatis hits a bomb off Cade McClure. And, you know, there's a tweet going out. Cade McClure will be telling people for years about the time he gave up an absolute nuke to Fernando Tatis Jr. That was from a man named Darnay Tripp on Twitter. So he tweeted that, to which Cade McClure after the game. Again, this is Giants prospect Cade McClure, Sacramento River Cat. He quote tweets it saying, little star, cheater hits a home run on a rehab assignment during a steroid suspension. Little star. What are we doing? Really? Hey, Cade, do you know what organization you're playing for, buddy? Do you know what you know that you're affiliated with, right? The San Francisco Giants? Who's the best player in that organization of all time? At least second best. Willie Mays, fine. Barry Bonds. Come on. Well, Sam, get in here. Sam Lubin. Cade McClure. What are you doing, man?
Steroid shaming is so a thing of the past.
God.
Let everyone do it at this point.
It's just, and by the way, Sam, I think I was talking to you. You weren't hearing me earlier. Are you going to the game tonight? Opening day?
I will be there, yes. We're leaving right after the show.
Hell yeah. Who's all going?
I'll be rolling over with Shasky. Outside of that, I have no idea.
What's the forecast looking like? It's wet this morning. Is it supposed to clear up by then?
It should be what I'm seeing. They were just doing the weather on the TV. They're doing it right now. Looks like around 10 o'clock-ish. Hopefully the rain will be stopping for the day.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Right. Well, dress warm. That's all I can say. But yeah, to your point, Sam. Sam Lubin, by the way, producer extraordinaire of the Morning Roast and co-host of Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys. Get that anywhere you have the Odyssey app. Go to Odyssey.com, where you find your podcast. Sam Lubin, Joe Shasky doing a great job breaking down all the Giants' huge win against the White Sox yesterday. 16-6, opening day for them at Oracle Park. But Cade McClure, come on. Really? And he deleted the tweet. You would be lucky to have a shred of the talent, of the coverage of a Fernando Tatis Jr. And maybe that's why you're so bitter about it, giving up a home run, because you know what? Fernando's so damn good, he didn't need to take the steroids. I got news for you. All these guys are taking something. Newsflash. It was happening in the 90s. It was happening in the 2010s. It was happening in the 2020s. It's happening. It's happening all the time. Everyone's taking something. You need that extra step because you know what? You need to get back because the more you're out with an injury, which Fernando has been injured, you're going to try to get back sooner. Not only to help your team, but to stay relevant. So these guys are going to take whatever they can to speed up the healing process, to speed up the recovery, the enhancements, all that sort of stuff. I don't hate steroids in baseball. I know there's a whole contingent of, oh God, the integrity of the game. I don't care. I think most millennials are with me on that, to be honest with you. And let me know if you are, 888-957-9570. It's baseball specifically. Chicks dig the long ball. I don't care. Football, it's a slippery slope because you're hitting people, you're getting stronger, you know. But even in football, like Von Miller's going to the Hall of Fame. He got popped. Does anyone care? Does anyone bring up in Von Miller's storied career, oh yeah, that guy, yeah, he took steroids. That sack didn't count. Please. Cade McClure, do better, buddy. Come on. You deleted the tweet. He got shamed for it. He got ratioed, as the kids say on Twitter. So that was enough embarrassment for him there. I'm hoping we see a Cade McClure call-up. I don't think it's happening anytime soon, judging by that monster blast that Tatis had off of him. But wouldn't that be great? Cade McClure gets called up to the big league, Sammy, and he has to go against the Padres, and Tatis comes up to the plate. Oh, a guy could dream. The Giants, they're playing well. They're ahead of the Padres in the standings right now. They're ahead 5-2 for the Dodgers. Then you got the Giants right there at 3-3. And still early. Not overreacting. A lot of offense up and down for the Giants. And Sam Lubman, I'll give him credit this. He said at the beginning, he's like, I think this is really going to be a feast or famine season for them on offense most of the time. The pitching, still a little shaky, right? Still a little shaky. I haven't seen one pitching performance outside of Logan Webb in opening day when he K'd 12 or 25, it seemed like, or whatever ridiculous thing it was. I haven't seen a great pitching performance. Yeah, a couple days ago, they won 12-3. That was probably the only one other outside of that, but I have no faith in this depth that we called the Giants pitching staff at the beginning of the season. Like, oh, yeah, they may not have that one huge guy other than Webb, but man, they got the depth. Yeah, that's great. But if the depth isn't very good, then your depth is not reliable. If the pitching depth of a Wood, of a Cobb, of a Manaea, of a DeSclafani. DeSclafani looked good. I'll give him his credit. We'll see how he does against the Dodgers this season. Didn't fare well against them, but thankfully you don't have to play him as much. But if you're relying on all those guys, and that's the depth you're relying on, they're not pitching very well, then that's a problem. That's a problem. So we'll monitor that, but good to see the offensive woes break out. Michael Conforto, and I got to play this home run call. Because in the studio, we have it all silent, right? We're rolling on it. We're cutting the audio and stuff like that. So I saw the home run, and then I saw in Wide Orbit, which is the system where we put in all our sound so we can play it to all of you, the audience. But I saw a certain quote. I was like, what was that? Take a listen, and I'll explain.
High drive. Right field. It is out of here. And the Giants lead 3-0. Home run number 2.
What a difference a day makes. And he sees them well. The one guy in the Giants lineup that had good numbers, lifetime against him. But the most important thing, 2-strike damage with runners in score position. The hit they couldn't get yesterday, they get here in the first inning. And man, he nutted that thing.
I beg your pardon? Mike Krukow and Dwayne Kuiper on NBC Sports Bay Area. He whatted?
He nutted that thing.
Excuse me?
He nutted that thing.
He certainly did, Michael Conforto.
He nutted that thing.
Oh my goodness. We're using that every single day this year. It doesn't even have to be a home run. It could be a walk-off. It could be a Steph Curry dunk. It could be a Draymond dunk, a Klay Thompson 3.
He nutted that thing.
He certainly did, Mike Krukow. God bless you, you beautiful man. Oh my God. What an all-timer.
He nutted that thing.
We're going to take a quick break. Come on back. Hear more from the Giants. Yaz went deep. Blake Sable, his first career home run. Flores is back, baby. I never doubted him. No matter how many want to shame him here at the station. Wilmer Flores was solid for me in fantasy last year. I'm not taking that disrespect. Chady Davis is the grand slam of position player as the Giants. Opening day is today. We'll continue to take your calls and text at 888-957-9570. What are you doing this weekend? Let me know. And come Monday, who will the Golden State Warriors be playing in either a play-in or a playoff series? Also, Warriors Live tonight, 6 o'clock. John Dickinson as the Golden State Warriors are taking on the Sacramento Kings up in Sacramento at Golden One Arena. Coverage of that, again, 6 o'clock. Warriors Live. Tim Roy hops on at 6:30 and tip-off at 7 with the great Jim Barnett. Don't go anywhere, folks. More Warriors, more Giants, more everything right here on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
He nutted that thing.
Hurry in during Ram Truck Month and discover what it truly means to drive a truck that's built.
Give it to me, Phil. It's Phil Collins Friday, pregame show, Joe Spadoni. It's a good Friday. It's an opening day Friday at Oracle Park for the San Francisco Giants. It's a Sacramento Kings versus Golden State Warriors Friday up in Sac. This is just a huge Friday. Let's go. 888-957-9570. What are you doing this weekend? You going to opening day? What are you doing for Easter? We got people working. KM Johnson. We got Kyle Kelly. Happy birthday. He's going to opening day. Watch his Giants take on the Kansas City Royals. Let's go. Come on. Fired up, man. I feel like Steve Ballmer.
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. Pretty cool.
God, I love that, man. Don't think he's the best owner, but, man, he gets jobs. He gets the toilets, right? Isn't that what his new arena over in Inglewood? It's going to have a lot of toilets, let's just say. He was fired up about that. Steve Ballmer. The guy's one of the more crazy owners. Like, you think Joe Lacob's a little nuts? He's just nuts about winning. You can look at some of these guys around the league, and it's just like, what the hell is up with him? But hey, guy's the richest owner. I know that. That's a fact. It's not even close. Steve Ballmer. Gotta look up those net worths for all the guys, but I gotta assume he's quadrupling the next closest guy. It's not even close. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Speaking of which, Joe Lacob, I wonder if he's heading up to Golden One Arena tonight to hang out courtside. And listen, I haven't been to Golden One Arena yet, but it rivals Chase Center from what I've been told. Some say it surpasses it in certain aspects. And listen, I've been to Chase Center multiple times for concerts, for multiple Warriors games, all that sort of stuff. It is a great venue. I love it. It's not very hard to get parking, walking over there at the little guy. It's fun. They got stuff outside. I love the little, what is it, Thrive City, right? They call it. That's where Bonte is, hanging out with Molly and Festus before the game. See them in that little studio there. But it's fun. Benny gets to look out over everything. They have a little basketball, sometimes a little court you can play. They got the steps you can sit and you have all the food right there. I love the setup there. Haven't been to Golden One yet. Maybe if they do play the Kings in round one, hell, maybe if the Kings advance, maybe just go to a game up there. Like, that would be pretty damn cool. So let me know if anyone's going to that game tonight. Kyle Kelly, shout out him. He's going to the Giants Royals. Anyone going to the Kings Warriors game tonight? Let me know. 888-957-9570. YouTube, Twitch. Hello, we are up and running. Or hit me up on Twitter at Spadoni_Joe. Appreciate the follows there. So we heard the Michael Conforto home run. Actually, let's reset. Michael Conforto, 3-run bomb to lead things off in the first inning against the White Sox as the Giants take out the Chicago White Sox. Can I hear that home run call one more time from the great Dwayne Kuiper, NBC Sports Bay Area?
High drive. Right field. It is out of here. And the Giants lead 3-0. Home run number 2.
What a difference a day makes. And, he sees him well. The one guy in the Giants lineup that had good numbers, lifetime against him. But the most important thing, 2-strike damage with runners in score position. The hit they couldn't get yesterday, they get here in the first inning. And, man, he nutted that thing.
He absolutely nutted that thing.
He nutted that thing.
Thanks, Mike.
He nutted that thing.
It's an all-timer. It's Sam Lubman grabbing it immediately because he knew that's going to be played like 30 times today. If it wasn't on Willard and Dibs already, Mark Grandy, what the hell are you doing?
He nutted that thing.
Certainly did. When Steph Curry makes that first 3 tonight at Golden One Arena.
He nutted that thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That was my first turn your mic on moment. It's been a couple months. Wow. Had my mic off on a solo show. Can't do that. It's a big no-no. Ernie Chavez with the drops. Joseph Kine, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly on the YouTube chat. Is there a stat of former Warrior assistant coaches versus Steve Kerr? From Luke Walton, Alvin Gentry, Willie Green, now Mike Brown. It has to be sub 300. And I know Kings fans are bragging that Mike Brown knows the playbook, but how many former assistant coaches play against the Warriors and how do they fare? It's an interesting question. I don't know if I can find that immediately. Maybe I'll find that in the break, and I'll have that info for the crossover coming up next segment, and where Joe Shaskin joins me in studio to break down everything going on around sports. We had a great conversation yesterday regarding Aaron Rodgers to the San Francisco 49ers. You can find all that on YouTube. Every single episode here is on the YouTube page. Just go to the live portion. Just subscribe on 95.7 The Game YouTube's page. Go to live, and you'll see every single pregame show in full there. And it's around the 45-minute mark or 40-minute mark-ish. You will find the crossover, and you'll find our conversation regarding Aaron Rodgers and why Shasky and I think he should go to the 49ers and why the 49ers should try to reciprocate that and pursue him. Will it happen? Who knows? But the more it drags along with the Jets and the Green Bay Packers, the more leave the door open. That's all I'm saying. But to your point, Josephine, on the YouTube chat, I'm not sure Steve Kerr's record against his former assistant head coaches. I know that Mike Brown is not like those former assistants, though. Alvin Gentry, he had some success with the Phoenix Suns early in his career, going to Western Conference Finals, taking on Kobe. You remember that series? That was fun. A young Goran Dragic, obviously Steve Nash. You had, who else you have? You had Grant Hill. You had Channing Frye. You had Jared Dudley. Remember that team? That was a fun little squad. But yeah, other outside of that, like Mike Brown was a legit guy before Steve. Like Mike Brown was with LeBron James, early LeBron James. Yeah, he was with the Los Angeles Lakers, didn't go out. He kind of got the short end of the stick there. They moved on too quickly from Phil Jackson. The opportunity to bring him back, they ended up not going. They ended up getting D'Antoni instead. D'Antoni running that, 7 seconds or less offense, whatever it is. Not going to work well when you have an aging Kobe Bryant, aging Steve Nash, in a back problem-led Dwight Howard at the time. So that wasn't working, but Mike Brown got fired for that guy. And then it was just kind of, okay, let's just kind of rehabilitate, that image, that head coaching gig. And he stuck around for the Warriors until the Sacramento Kings job opened up. And a lot of people were like, Mike Brown, what the hell are you doing? Going to the Kings? We want to see you succeed. We already saw what happened with Luke Walton. They ran him out of Los Angeles. He couldn't get the job done. LeBron ran him out. They brought in Frank Vogel. Then Luke, you saw him, go to the Sac, and then that didn't work. Like, Mike, what are you doing, man? Come on. Well, what is he doing? He's just clinching the 3 spot. He almost had a 2 seed. Like Mike Brown, what he has done, he's absolutely the coach of the year. It's not even close. Not even close. If you want to go, the only other guy I could think of in the Western Conference, Daignault, like having the Thunder and potential play-in. But again, they're going to be maybe a sub-500 team going into a play-in. Hell of a season, but you have to give it to Mike Brown. You got to give it to Mike Brown. He's the coach of the year. It's hands down what he is able to do. De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, all these guys. Yeah, their defense isn't great. That takes time, though. Like, that takes a lot of time. And that takes effort from the players. And maybe come next year, maybe they'll add on, maybe they'll tweak some things. But as far as offenses, yeah, it doesn't get more explosive than the Sacramento Kings. When De'Aaron Fox is on, Keegan Murray's on, Kevin Huerter's dropping threes, Red Velvet, when Domantas Sabonis is getting double-doubles left and right, there is few teams, other than maybe the Golden State Warriors when they are truly on, that are more exciting than the Sacramento Kings. So I cannot wait for that matchup tonight in Sacramento. Again, coverage of that starts at 6 o'clock with Warriors Live right here on 95.7 The Game. John Dickinson, before tossing over to the great Tim Roy at Warriors Vox, the voice of the Golden State Warriors, along with Jim Barnett, who will be along the analyst side there. Again, pre- and post-game coverage right here on 95.7 The Game. What are you doing this weekend? Are you going to opening day? Let me know. 888-957-9570. Are you going to the Warriors Sacramento Kings game tonight at Golden One Arena? What are you doing for Easter? Are you traveling? Are you just hanging out? Let me know. Also, this time, Monday morning, who will the Golden State Warriors be playing? Could be in a play-in, could be in a playoff, could be the Suns, could be the Kings, could be anyone, could be the Pelicans. Who knows? Let me know that at 888-957-9570. We got one more segment coming up here for you. The Crossover, where Joe Shasky joins me next, right here on the pregame show, 95.7 The Game.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers.
talking baseball here.
In the words of Aerosmith, wind me up.
Wind me up. Start me up. Shout out to Rolling Stones. We got Alex Cobb. Who we got going for the Royals? I don't even know. Other than Zach Greinke, who's finally back with the Kansas City Royals. By the way, we were talking about this as
the 1-6 Royals versus the 3-3 Giants.
Good win yesterday for the Giants, though.
The fighting Matt Duffys.
Dude.
Bobby Witt Jr., baby.
Sable? Come on now.
Hey.
Michael Conforto, Mike Krukow with the call of the year, by the way. You hear what he had to say about the Michael Conforto home run, by the way. You know what he said?
He nutted that thing.
Nutted it.
He nutted that thing.
Certainly did. You know how often that's going to be.
I thought the wheelhouse was closed on this station.
He nutted that thing.
Mm-hmm. But as it pertains to Zach Greinke, and he's at Kansas City Royals, I don't know if he's going to pitch in the series. He just pitched the other day, so probably not. But he's borderline Hall of Fame, right, Shask? You say Zach Greinke, Hall of Famer or not?
I think a lot of people would dismiss it. Here's what I would say. His numbers closely resemble Curt Schilling regular season-wise, but where Curt Schilling, and I think Curt Schilling's a Hall of Famer.
Yo,
but
one of the greatest pitchers of all time, yeah.
Obviously is elevated is his postseason performances, not only for the Arizona Diamondbacks, but also for the Boston Red Sox. As fake as I find the bloody sock thing to be.
That was a catch-up. Yeah, we can all agree
whatever
on that.
it was. It doesn't matter.
It was catch-up.
We enhanced the story
Hunts,
over time.
Hines, whatever you want it to be.
Whatever.
So
what does he have? 220 wins?
18 years. He's almost 40 years old.
I know.
It's just wild.
I had his rookie card when he was coming up with the Royals.
Keep that. That might be legit.
Isn't that cool? One of those prospect finders.
223 wins.
Look at that off the top of my head.
There you go. So 3.42 career ERA.
Uh-huh.
He's going to finish with 3,000. He's at 2,899. So he'll finish with 3,000 strikeouts. 6-time All-Star. All MLB.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Cy Young 2009. 6-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time Silver Slugger, and 2-time MLB ERA leader. So not the sexiest, but you just look at what I said, 3,000 strikeouts, about going to be 3.5 ERA, probably 3.4, and maybe having like 235, 40 if he goes another year wins. Like maybe he can get to 250.
Give me his raw because I got Curt Schilling's right here. So I knew Curt Schilling wasn't over because I know CC Sabathia passed him. So he's at 216 and 146 with 3,100 strikeouts and a 3.46 ERA.
So you got 1.16 WHIP. You got 3.42 ERA for Greinke.
6-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion.
Yep. That's big.
And then he gets the World Series MVP.
I mean, Roger Clemens is the greatest pitcher I've ever seen in my lifetime. So it's like, in my lifetime.
Body of work?
Body of work,
because I would say, I would agree with you.
Yes.
I would say that individual seasons, I would throw Pedro Martinez, Tim Lincecum in there.
That's fair. Verlander. Yeah, Verlander's in there.
Johan Santana had an individual season that was for the record books.
Totally.
I don't know if you remember Johan. Johan's one of my favorite pitchers.
No, I do. Yeah, a little bit.
Him and Francisco Liriano were so sick together.
Yes. No,
the
absolutely.
one that got away.
Totally. So you're decked down, Giants. You're excited for opening day.
I am.
What does opening day mean for you, Joe? Because for me, like I grew up down Monterey, so like you're a local guy, so it's different. So like there's a whole like feel around the city, stuff like that. Like if I was going to a game, like it was months out in advance, or like maybe get the occasional, hey, you want to get out of school, we drive up to go see either the A's or the Giants. But what does it mean to you?
Well, for me, it's a tradition. It's a familial tradition. So like my dad used to take us out to Candlestick, and we would always go to that first game, and we'd get pulled out of school if we could. Sometimes it'd be Easter break, and so like it's a tradition that as I became an adult, Oracle Park opened up, and that was like I call the drinking era for me, where me and my buddies, every single year we prioritized what little money we had to be able to go to AT&T Park, SBC, whatever the hell it was called over the years. And back then, you got to remember the first like 10 years, maybe 7 or 8 years of the ballpark, it was hard to get tickets. It was really expensive, at least for me, and it was exclusive. We didn't have the secondary market like we do now where you can go online and boom, you had to actually scalp tickets or have somebody that had tickets. And so every year it was something that I prioritized. So like my wife and I, as we've gotten married and now I've become an adult and an old man, if you will, it's something that we look forward to going to together. And I get all juiced up because not only does it signify the beginning of baseball season, I get to see a lot of the same, like, to me, it's a big party because a lot of my friends and family go to opening day. So, like, a lot of people I know. So it'll be a big familial thing. But it also signifies the opening of summer. Like, to me, from here on out, it's a runway to summer.
Yeah. No, it's a fun thing, especially if you have your family involved. And listen, the San Francisco Giants, they might not be the best team this year. They still might make the playoffs. So early. but they might be. Hey,
they're not the best.
But the offense, Shasky, that might be. And you
it's fun.
It's fun at times. Now it could be feast or famine. And I was listening to you and Sam Lemon talking about this on Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys, doing a hell of a job.
You listened?
Sammy, oh come on, dude.
I knew we had two.
Dude, I'm locked in. Come on, you guys give me all this time on the pregame show. You gotta give back to the people. Am I right?
Lovey's developing as a number one.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's in the system.
I mean, Logan Webb might not be an ace currently.
He's Jesus Luzardo.
He's there.
He'll have these games where he's like, oh man, he's got 6 strikeouts through 2. He might give up a 4 spot in the 3rd, but you know what? He's grinding.
Didn't Luzardo get traded for cash considerations?
No,
knowing Odyssey, we might have that happen.
No, he got traded for Starling Marte.
That's right.
2 months of a G. Now we didn't make the playoffs.
I love watching.
Like I actually we look back on that trade. We were actually talking about it because Jesus Luzardo might be a dude for like the Marlins.
Yeah,
but he wasn't going to be a dude in Oakland.
They have Puck too, right?
They have Puck as well.
Yeah.
We traded them. Well, that was a big prospect. Like that was a big prospect trade between us. We traded for one of their everyday guys. Can't forget his name, but he was like a 1st or 2nd round pick of them, or a top 5 pick. And Puck was a 1st round pick of the A's a few years ago. But I digress. Sam Lubman, the Jesus Luzardo of 95.7 The Game. The Masters, Shasky, as we bounce around here. Tiger Woods in the hunt. He's hunting right there. Nice finish. But Brooks Koepka being like the only guy in the top 10 for Live Golf. You were saying it early, and I'm kind of rooting for it too. This whole Live Golf versus PGA kind of feud they got going on.
You know you want
Give me Brooks Koepka in the final round.
And Jon Rahm.
And Jon Rahm.
Yeah, 100%.
Or Scotty Scheffler. Toss him in there. But Scotty doesn't hate anyone. See, like Scotty's
too nice.
He's too nice. Give me Jon Rahm. He's kind of like
He's got a little salt to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like him. And then there's a lot of great characters at the top of the leaderboard. And just look, so many players out on the field. The course is the star. Like I had I had already watched almost all the coverage, and then it does like the replay afterwards, and I watched all the coverage that I missed.
You know what I want to say, and I told this to Steiny, and I was like, Steiny, you'll like this take. You know what's the one thing that's overrated?
What's that?
About the Masters and about Southern golf?
Give it to me.
The humidity.
Oh.
Miss me with that. Pebble Beach over anything. Monterey Peninsula.
I like the fog.
It's the fog. It's the cool 60 degrees.
I'm with you.
Don't give me that sticky weather. Get out of here with that crap.
It does remind me, though, so like we were talking about yesterday, that Bobby Jones, who's one of the greatest amateur players of all time, had went to Pebble Beach and Cypress and a lot of different courses, Pasatiempo, in that Monterey area, Santa Cruz area, and that was the inspiration for Augusta. So you can see, it's been bastardized over the years because they've changed up what its original designs are and things like that. But point being is, there is a little bit of California golf baked into that course,
which is pretty cool. Just
cool.
If you like the history of golf and stuff like that, that's pretty freaking awesome. So just wanted to get your touch up there. Who do you got real quick? Like, do you have a feel for did you make a bet? Who did you have at the beginning of this thing?
Well, I said I wanted Brooks Koepka because he was coming off of the 2 wins from Live, and everyone's like, Live, like basically.
No, he's looking good. Like hell, he hasn't been healthy for a long time. That's
like
the thing with Brooks.
the Orlando Magic, and everyone just dismisses it, even though I like Orlando.
Even though they swept the Warriors.
I know.
Don't sleep with my guy Paolo Banchero.
But you get where I'm going. It'd be like the Giants sweeping the Royals right now.
Yeah, it's be like, oh, great, congratulations. Now do it against the Dodgers next week.
Could 2 organizations feel farther away from where they were a decade ago?
It's kind of crazy to just look back at that.
It was one of the great Game 7s of all time across sports.
That was one of the hardest and most difficult losses starting that 2014 AL wild card. It was the A's and it was the Royals.
And was that the one where they were running the bases on you left and right?
Yeah. John Lester couldn't throw the first, dude.
Yeah, Johnny Lester.
Whenever I see they put Johnny Lester
Kurt
on the
Suzuki?
interview. No, I don't think Kurt's Derek Norris, I want to say there.
Norris.
I think Derek Norris. Alberto Callaspo.
Yeah, with the half-shell helmet.
Yeah, Adam Dunn, his only ever playoff game, he never got to play in it. His only one. He never played.
He was playing for the A's.
He was playing for the A's. They traded for him that year, and he never got to play it. They didn't have Bob Melvin, didn't have Jeff Samardzija, not activated for some god no. Like, come on, dude, it's everything. That's why I appreciate Bruce Bochy so freaking much.
Yeah.
He threw everything in those plays. Like, he granted he had Madison Bumgarner, so he didn't have to. But he's like, dude, this is winner take all. Like we need to win this game. We do everything we can to win this game. As we're doing 2014 AL wildcard talk. Like that one pissed me off more. If any loss in my entire life, that one is still the top. I throw Tuck Rule into that. This is how much that loss pissed me off.
Obviously, Bumgarner is going to get all the headlines, deservedly so. In 2012, he used Lincecum in a similar fashion, at least as a swing guy, bridging the starters to the elite bullpen. And I think it got lost in all of the member berries, if you will, over time. Lincecum had, I believe, 2 unreal performances and 4 overall. 2 were solid, but I remember one in particular. He came in and bailed out Zito. And I think people have forgotten how great, even though his 2012 was not good.
No,
it was very forgettable.
It was kind of like contentious, wasn't it, that they were using him as a swing guy because he wanted to start, right?
Well, I wanted to see him start. I think a lot of people wanted to see him start, but they had Vogelsong, and Vogelsong was an all-star that year.
He was balling.
He was balling that year. I mean, he was one of those guys like a Dante DiVincenzo. He kind of came out of nowhere.
Speaking of him, Kings, Warriors tonight. There's talk.
This is a fun day.
There is.
for sports.
No, it's really fun, but I would hate the Kings to rest guys tonight. They're listing a bunch of these guys as questionable. I was like, that sucks.
JD's all over that account.
JD's locked into Kings Warriors.
JD, put the computer down.
Dude,
we understand that there are many scenarios.
Oh, there's so many, but he's locked. I appreciate it because he does put it in a way that makes it easier to digest because there's so many different like machinations, stuff like that. But
if you just wait 24 hours,
I know.
It will be very simplistic.
I know, and that's the question I've been posing to people.
So like yesterday, nothing happened except Utah was eliminated.
Exactly, Utah's eliminated the Fighting Lauri Markkanens, and if the Thunder just need to win on Sunday, I think against the Memphis, who's probably going to be lying down for that game anyways, and then the Dallas Mavericks are eliminated. But don't you want to see the Kings play their starters tonight, right? Yeah. I know you want the path of least resistance if you're the Warriors still, because if you lose this game, then because the Suns, I don't think are going to play anyone these next 2 games. They beat the Nuggets,
and
they're solidified. That stinks too.
Because everything leading up to this Friday felt like everybody was all in for the last 2 weeks.
And now it's going to be this guess again.
Right?
Who's going to play their guys? Who's not going to play? Yeah. Like maybe your scoreboard watching at halftime.
This is to Bonte's point, and Bonte's been kind of all over this. Like, just because you have the play-in game, teams are still going to rest. They're still going to posture for positioning at the end of the year and lay down or not lay down. So, like, no matter how long or short the season is, you're going to have baked-in issues.
Okay, so real quick here, we got about 30 seconds. Who are the Warriors going to be playing in the play-in or playoff game come Monday morning?
Playoff Kings.
Wow, 6 seed. So the Warriors are going to win out?
My wife already said, maybe we go up to Golden One Center and make it a night or a weekend.
That would be fun. That's Joe Shasky. He's coming up next. Bonte Hill, opening day for the San Francisco Giants. Kings taking on the Golden State Warriors. Warriors live coverage that. Mention our boy John Dickinson at 6 o'clock. You'll hear his voice before tossing it over to the great Tim Roy. Tip off at 7 o'clock. Have a good weekend, everybody. Happy Easter.
He nutted that thing.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KG.